Hey everybody, Desi Cooney here with Outlier Strength and Conditioning, and today we're going to talk about a topic that I still get tons of questions over all the time, and that is how to hook grip a barbell. Let's get started. So if you're unaware, hook grip is basically a variation of a double overhand grip where your thumb is wrapped underneath your fingers. You see this all the time in Olympic weightlifting with pretty much every international elite level competitor because it's simply much stronger than a double overhand grip, and they can't really make use of a mixed grip with the competition movements that they use. You also see it occasionally done in powerlifting for the deadlift, although most of the time I still see people taking an alternate or an over-underhand grip on their deadlifts. Now, I personally believe that hook grip comes with many benefits over a traditional double overhand or alternate grip, and I want to enumerate those today, as well as give you a brief tutorial on how I like to teach hook grip. And there are some subtle differences between how you might use it for Olympic weightlifting versus powerlifting, but I will try to differentiate the two when I get there. Now, hook grip has been gaining in popularity in powerlifting in recent years, and rightfully so, because I believe it has many advantages over a traditional alternate grip, which I will enumerate here. Firstly, you are much less likely to injure or tear a bicep using a hook grip versus an alternate grip. And that's simply because you don't have a hand on that barbell which is supinated, which can put that bicep in a precarious position, particularly if you are lacking the requisite mobility through your shoulder. You can start to get rotational forces translating down through that bicep, which can lead to some pretty dramatic injuries. Secondly, using a hook grip can prevent what's commonly called helicoptering, which simply means rotation or turning of that barbell as you ascend through your deadlift. Now, this can happen for sumo and conventional pullers, and usually I see people rotate away from their underhand, and I believe that comes down to mobility issues as well. But it becomes more of a problem usually for sumo pullers than conventional deadlifters because it can really affect your lockout because of that wider stance, and it becomes a serious problem. And you can eliminate that by potentially using hook grip. And this is actually the chief reason that I myself switched to using hook grip about a year ago now. Thirdly, you can eliminate some of the imbalances between the left and right side of your body, which sometimes crop up when using a mixed grip. Now, this isn't an issue for everybody, but it's common enough for most people that it's worth noting. And it's usually the people that never switch which hand is their underhand. You can start to see imbalances in terms of muscularity between left and right, as well as posture, resting posture, and even mobility. So that's something that you can potentially eliminate by utilizing a hook grip. Fourthly, and some people will swear by this, although a lot of people probably won't notice a difference, oftentimes you can get a slightly better starting position using hook grip, and that can be attributed to, more often than not, that barbell is just going to sit lower in your fingers than if you're using a mixed grip. So it's not going to be a huge difference, but it could be that extra ½ inch to an inch of range of motion eliminated, and right from that bottom position of your deadlift where most people seem to struggle, particularly in the sumo deadlift. So it can make a noticeable difference for some people, definitely. And lastly, hook grip just seems to be less reliant on true grip strength than an alternate grip, and it seems to be more dependent on things like technique of that grip and pain tolerance. So if you struggle personally with grip strength, or it becomes the limiting factor on your deadlifts, then hook grip might be an avenue that you'd want to explore as a potential remedy to that. So hook grip is pretty simple and easy to implement for most people. Basically, you want to start by wrapping your thumb around the bar, followed by your index and middle finger wrapped around your thumb. And these are really the only two fingers that need to be wrapped in contact with your thumb, and this is going to be the foundation of your hook grip. From there, your ring finger and your pinky finger are going to wrap around the bar and serve to lock your hand in place. Now the biggest thing I think that people get wrong about hook grip for powerlifting is that you really don't need to be crushing that bar as hard as you can. You don't need to be gripping it as hard as you would for, say, an alternate grip. And in fact, it's usually better to sort of let that bar hang lower in your fingers so that it doesn't start moving in your hands and potentially break your grip. So the cue that I give people is the way that we pull the slack out of the bar for deadlifts, we also want to let that bar pull the slack out of our fingers and out of our hands so that bar, again, is sitting in the lowest point of your hand, right in that valley between your thumb and your first two fingers, so that it's really not going to be going anywhere. Now in Olympic weightlifting, because people tend to be working with weights that are submaximal compared to their max pull or their max deadlift most of the time, at least compared to powerlifting, you can get away with a little bit more of a higher position of that barbell in your hand, and so you have more control over that bar, because obviously an Olympic weightlifter is going to need to manipulate and move that barbell through a much greater range of motion than a powerlifter. If you're new to hook grip, I recommend working it into your warm-ups and your lighter sets first to get your thumbs and your hands and everything accustomed to the feel of it. So hook grip can at first at least be very harsh on the skin of your thumbs and quite painful in general. And for that reason, I don't really see the need to incorporate it for more than one rep at a time. And using it for just singles, I think, is an absolutely fine strategy, because that's all you're ever going to use it for in competition anyway. So guys, I hope this has been helpful. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this video, what you'd like to see next. If you found it to be useful, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this video, and be sure to check out our website at www.beoutlierstrong.com for more information. Guys, I'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.